another thing you need to be cautious about when you're chatting with a Filipina or writing, emailing a Filipina is when they start demanding. What I mean is, oh, I want to call you, but I don't have a cell phone. Can you send me a cell phone? I don't have money for buying load on the phone. Can you send me money for the load? That's why I joke about it with Bernard, that when he's joking to me that, can you call me? And I said, oh, I don't have a phone. Can you send me a phone? Because that's the usual line that some of the girls here are talking, that, oh, I don't have, almost everyone have a cell phone already. Cheap phones, cheap China phones, cheap whatever phones. And then, even here among the locals, like, can you call me? Oh, I don't have a cell phone. Because that's a subtle way of asking for a phone. Oh, I don't have load. So you have to buy her load to call you, to text you, to communicate with you. So that's why I call, be wary about that when they start demanding like that. And also when they are digging on the drama that we call here. Digging on the drama is, my parents are not very well. Oh, I'm not very well. That's another way that they extort. I'm a Filipino. I know those tricks. And when you get girls talking, you hear all these tricks that they do. I usually hear it in the law school, to be honest, when we were talking about the petty, like, you know, the one that where a foreigner was even complaining, file a case against a Filipino here because she was making him believe that she's single and keep on extorting him, and he's falling for it. It's a celebrated case in Lapu-Lapu City, and even the husband of the woman is into the trick, is into the scam, that they're tricking this foreigner into believing that she's gonna marry him. And all the drama was there. My son is not very well, my mother is not very well, and she keeps on sending her money for it. And then in the end, when he come here, he discovered that she's married, and all of it was just the scam of her and the husband. So he sued them, and I think that's why it comes to our law school knowledge before that about the tricks that some of the Filipinas do to gullible foreigners. And another thing is they like to let you sponsor the whole family, our niece or nephews. I mean, why is it your responsibility? Because they're already expecting you to do that. If you do it from the start, that, oh, so and so will be so you will be sponsoring them. And I'm just trying to swallow my water. And also, another thing is the age gap relationship. I know it doesn't matter, it's your life, I don't care. But a lot of people, they are still here, is very wary if there's a large age gap between you and his wife, like 50 years, 60 years. They're looking at, it may not be to you, but they're looking at the girl as nothing but, you know, what she's after. And if you don't care about that, fine, live and let live. I mean, you just live the life you want. Who cares about anyone else? But the most important thing, if you're happy with a girl, you're happy together, that's good. I have no issues with that myself, as long as it doesn't affect me and it's not mandatory. So age gap relationship, it's already been accepted here, although not quite, because like I said, large age gap, it's still looked down upon. 50, 60 years age gap, when the young girl is now pushing a very old man, like older than her parents. of course, you look at it differently. Like, you know what she's after. And yeah, it doesn't make a difference anymore over here. And it's more and more people are onto the age gap, especially in the far-flung provinces. And another thing, as a foreigner, you should expect that when you come here, they look at you as a walking wallet. I like to call it a walking wallet because, like, someone just comment this morning why there is a Kano price and then there's a local price, because your affordability level is expected to be high as a foreigner. So when you're haggling, it doesn't work that way as if a local is haggling with the merchandise. So the best way is not you as a foreigner be buying things or buy things with already the prices are already be seen. Then there's no more haggling. But when you go to the markets, when you go to places, of course there's different prices for foreigners than the locals because of the expectation of high affordability from the foreigners, because if they can afford to come here, then they can afford higher prices. But some of the foreigners are getting wiser now that they are here in the Philippines. They can haggle as good as the locals. And also, some are very cautious. They don't. It's their wife that they send over to buy things like Old B is doing, because I'm a good huddler. And then buy it in places where the prices can be seen. It's already there, so it's the same price for everyone. Foreigners are also, like, when they're walking in the street, they're the target of beggars, because, like, especially the one that just come here for the first time, they're like feel sorry for the people that they see, or like the tricks that make their kids dirty, and they're the mother just waiting there in a shop or something and beg, and the foreigners are usually the targets. But then again, if you don't give, they can't force you. But when you start entertaining this kind of people, then they will come back and be back and be back, be asking you all the time. The same thing with your Filipina wife's family. Once you start giving, it will be expected. So if you don't want to be like that, stamp at the start. I would like to talk so many things, but I have things to consider. But I don't know if I will put this in the video, but because it's like half baked. But I think I'll just put this. And also, when you're here, do not when you're here, do not expect too much of the Philippines, because it's different from your country. Number one, it's very hot and it's dusty. So when you're here, I don't like that, go for the high-end places. But if you want to experience the life, what is the real life here in the Philippines, then you can have your expectation a bit lower than what you can find in your country, because this is different here. This is Asia, and it's very hot and dusty, and the food wise as well, only good right now that in the cities you can find all those imported goods that you have there in the west. But in far-flung provinces, you cannot buy your imported goods, so you have to make do with the local available products. So another thing that someone commented once, that it's hard to find an educated Filipina. I think you're looking in the wrong places. Like I said, chats. Because, like me, if in my future rental bungalow someone wants to meet an educated Filipina, I got a lot of single educated Filipinas to be introduced. There are accountants, lawyers, doctors, you name it. But it's, like I said, it's better that I buy introduction to someone that knows this person. Then you can be sure what is the background of such person. And I said to that comment that you're looking on the wrong places, because in the chats they may claim that they have that kind of degree, but when you actually talk to them, you can hardly comprehend the word that he said. When they write like an elementary school graduate. But in answer to that comment about where can you find educated single Filipinos, most of them can be found by reference, someone that knows someone. And so, in finding the Filipina, a good Filipina, it's actually, you should do your own diligence, listen to your intuition, judge it by your intellect. If she's good, or just good enough, or not really good, but it's what you want from a person, to be honest. And if you're happy that the family is living around you, or you actually want the family living around you, that's your choice. But I know some foreigners that don't want the family to be hanging around. Everything will be asked from them or expected from him to be paid off, to be paid for, to be paid off, you know. So it's again your choice, like anything else in your world, in your side of the world. Like if you are married to your an American woman, an American man, you still have to adjust to the family as well. But of course you can always move away and just hear them once in a while. But here, because it's a close-knit family, you'll be hearing them all the time, not once in a while, because family gatherings, family weddings, funerals, and baptism, you'll be invited. And of course, family visits. There's loads of holidays here in the Philippines that you will be participating. So, like, everything revolves around the families. And that's what in our village, that they are like almost interbreeding. Because like families of this, and they married one clan, and then their offsprings become relatives. But after third degree, they can marry again. So that's what we're thinking, the close family relations that you have to expect, that we have it here. It's our culture, it's our nature, that we are very close-knitted families. And so when you come here and visit your girlfriend for the first time, and that's who you will be surrounded by families, and you will be taking the families for even in your dates. So just expect that. And now we're here in Talamban. Gasolina, tatay? Yeah. Oh. So we're now on our place. We are been carrying the wood that Obi wanted. Then to keep him quiet for a while, so he's out of my hair. So, and another thing that you have to notice here in the Philippines, because you're a foreigner, whatever color you are. I'm not talking about any particular color, because I got a lot of friends that are Asian foreigners, even the Indian foreigners. Filipinos is very hospitable, and when you come here and you get friendly with them, you'll be invited to any occasion. And sometimes they get funny if you don't eat. So that's another thing that you have to adjust is the hospitality. We are very hospitable people. We like inviting you over, and as a sign of respect, you can just go there and just taste the food that they offer, because they get funny if you don't. And yeah, that's being hospitable. Close family needed, hospitable, and we are we go all the way out to be hospitable, that during fiestas, even people, just to make sure that they have a show for their family, they will go to death just to prepare for the fiesta. We are now on the gasoline station. I'll just turn up, so because I'm gonna have to pay for the gasoline.